The baseball world was left in complete shock during the Dodgers game against the Padres. Shohei Ohtani had just crushed his 22nd home run of the season, sending the ball deep into the stands with incredible power. But what happened immediately afterward has become the most talked about controversy in Major League Baseball. As Ohtani rounded the bases with his usual calm demeanor, umpires suddenly stopped the game and made an unprecedented decision. They confiscated Ohtani's bat right there on the field and handed it over to MLB officials for urgent examination. The stadium fell silent as fans watched in disbelief. What could possibly be wrong with Ohtani's bat? Was there something illegal about the equipment he was using? Why would the umpires take such drastic action against baseball's biggest star? The questions began flooding social media within minutes, and Major League Baseball announced that an official investigation had been launched immediately. When the starting lineup was announced before the game, no one could have predicted the dramatic events that would unfold. Shohei Ohtani was batting third as usual, and the Dodgers were looking to extend their winning streak against their division rivals. The game proceeded normally through the first few innings, with both teams trading runs in what appeared to be another exciting matchup. Then came the bottom of the fifth inning, when Ohtani stepped up to the plate with 2 runners on base. The count went to 2 balls and 1 strike, and the next pitch came right down the middle. Ohtani unleashed one of the most powerful swings anyone had seen all season. The sound of the bat making contact echoed throughout the stadium, and everyone knew immediately that this ball was gone. The home run traveled an estimated 463 feet, landing deep in the left center field bleachers. It was Ohtani's 22nd home run of the season, putting him among the league leaders once again. As Ohtani circled the bases, the crowd erupted in celebration, and his teammates prepared to greet him at home plate. But something unusual was happening near the umpire's position. Home plate umpire Michael Henderson was seen having an intense conversation with the crew chief, while one of the base umpires picked up Ohtani's bat from where it had been dropped near the dugout. According to eyewitnesses in the stadium, the umpires appeared to be examining something on the bat very carefully. They were running their hands along the barrel, checking the handle, and even holding it up to the light to inspect it more closely. Manager Dave Roberts immediately came out of the dugout to ask what was happening, and the conversation between him and the umpiring crew became heated. Roberts later revealed that he was completely blindsided by what the umpires told him. They informed him that they had received instructions from the league office to confiscate Ohtani's bat for immediate testing and investigation. Freddie Freeman, who was in the on-deck circle when the incident occurred, told reporters after the game that he had never seen anything like this in his entire career. Freeman said that at first, he thought the umpires might be checking for cork or some other illegal modification, which occasionally happens in baseball. However, the level of urgency and the immediate involvement of MLB officials suggested this was something far more serious. Freeman admitted that the whole team was confused and concerned. He said that Ohtani himself seemed genuinely surprised by what was happening and cooperated fully with the officials. According to Freeman, Ohtani handed over his bat without any protest and even offered to provide any other equipment for inspection if needed. Freeman described Ohtani as completely calm throughout the ordeal, though he could tell his teammate was concerned about the implications of such a public investigation. Mookie Betts, who watched the entire scene unfold from the dugout, revealed that the atmosphere among the players quickly shifted from celebration to worry. Betts said that scoring runs and winning games suddenly became secondary to understanding what was happening with their star player. He mentioned that several teammates approached Ohtani between innings to offer support and ask if there was anything they needed to know. According to Betts, Ohtani insisted that he had done nothing wrong and that his equipment was completely standard and legal. Betts said he believed his teammate completely, noting that Ohtani has always been one of the most honest and integrity-driven players in the game. However, the question remained, if there was nothing wrong, why would the umpires and MLB officials take such unprecedented action? Shortly after the bat was confiscated, images from the stadium showed MLB security personnel placing Ohtani's bat into a sealed evidence bag and transporting it from the field. According to sources close to the investigation, the bat was immediately taken to a secure location for comprehensive testing. Multiple baseball analysts have speculated about what exactly the league might be looking for. Some suggest they could be testing for illegal substances applied to the bat's surface that might increase its performance. Others have mentioned the possibility of internal modifications that wouldn't be visible to the naked eye but could give a hitter an unfair advantage. There are also theories about weight distribution irregularities or materials that don't comply with MLB's strict equipment regulations. Sports journalist Michael Bradford, who was covering the game from the press box, reported that he received information from league sources indicating this investigation had actually been planned before the game even started. According to Bradford's sources, MLB had been monitoring bat performance data across the league and noticed some statistical anomalies related to certain players' equipment. While the sources wouldn't confirm that Ohtani was specifically targeted, the timing of the confiscation, immediately after such a massive home run, raised obvious questions. Bradford noted that if the league had suspicions beforehand, it would explain why the umpires seemed prepared with the proper procedures and why MLB officials were on hand so quickly to take possession of the evidence. Manager Dave Roberts held an emergency press conference after the game to address the growing media frenzy surrounding the incident. Roberts stated firmly that the Dodgers organization stands completely behind Shohei Ohtani and has full confidence in his integrity. The manager explained that all player equipment goes through rigorous checks by the team's equipment staff before being approved for game use. Roberts emphasized that Ohtani's bats are no different from any other players and that everything is done according to MLB specifications. When asked whether he thought the investigation was warranted, Roberts chose his words carefully. He said that he respects MLB's authority to investigate anything they deem necessary for the integrity of the game, but he also expressed frustration that such a public spectacle was made of the situation. Roberts suggested that if the league had concerns, they could have handled the matter more discreetly rather than confiscating the bat in front of tens of thousands of fans and television cameras. According to team sources, Ohtani met with Dodgers executives and legal representatives after the game to discuss the situation and prepare for whatever might come next. Those close to the Japanese superstar say he remains confident that the investigation will clear him of any wrongdoing. One source described Ohtani as being more concerned about the distraction this creates for his team than about his own reputation. The source said that Ohtani expressed frustration that his teammates now have to answer questions about his equipment rather than focusing on their playoff push. However, Ohtani also reportedly told team officials that he welcomes the investigation and wants it conducted as thoroughly as possible so that there can be no doubt about his innocence. Baseball equipment expert Richard Sullivan provided analysis for several sports networks, explaining what investigators would likely be examining. Sullivan noted that modern bat testing includes measuring the bat's moment of inertia, checking for structural modifications, analyzing the wood grain and density, and testing for any foreign substances that might have been applied. He explained that even minor alterations to a bat can provide measurable advantages in terms of bat speed, contact quality, and power generation. However, Sullivan also emphasized that finding a violation is extremely rare among professional players, especially superstars like Ohtani who are already under constant scrutiny. Sullivan suggested that this investigation might be part of a broader league initiative to establish baseline data rather than a specific accusation against Ohtani. Former MLB player and current analyst Derek Monroe offered a different perspective during his post-game show. Monroe argued that the league's handling of this situation was inappropriate and potentially damaging to Ohtani's reputation regardless of the investigation's outcome. He pointed out that by confiscating the bat so publicly, MLB has created a narrative that suggests wrongdoing even before any evidence has been examined. Monroe said that if Ohtani is ultimately cleared, the damage to his image may already be done because many people will remember the dramatic bat confiscation more than they'll remember the investigation results. Monroe called on MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred to issue a public statement explaining the league's reasoning and providing transparency about the investigation process. Social media exploded with reactions from fans, players, and baseball commentators around the world. The hashtag #OhtaniBat began trending within an hour of the incident, with thousands of posts debating what might be happening. Many fans expressed strong support for Ohtani, citing his track record of excellence and integrity throughout his career. Others took a more cautious approach, suggesting that everyone should wait for the investigation results before drawing conclusions. Some conspiracy theories even emerged suggesting that rival teams or jealous competitors might have pressured the league to investigate Ohtani in an attempt to slow down his historic season. Several current and former players came to Ohtani's defense on social media platforms. All-star pitcher Marcus Stroman tweeted that he has faced Ohtani multiple times and that the Japanese star's success comes purely from incredible talent and work ethic, not from any equipment advantages. Former MVP Josh Donaldson posted that he has known Ohtani for years and that questioning his integrity is absurd. Even players from rival teams acknowledged that Ohtani represents everything good about baseball and that this investigation seems inconsistent with who he is as a person and player. As of now, Major League Baseball has released only a brief official statement confirming that an equipment investigation is underway and that results will be made public once the examination is complete. The league emphasized that such investigations are standard procedure and do not necessarily indicate any wrongdoing. However, sources within the league office suggest that the testing process could take several days to complete, meaning Ohtani and the Dodgers will have to deal with this controversy hanging over them as they continue their season. There are also questions about whether Ohtani will be allowed to use his other bats while this investigation is ongoing or whether all of his equipment might be subject to additional scrutiny. Manager Dave Roberts confirmed that Ohtani will remain in the lineup for upcoming games and that the team expects him to continue performing at his usual elite level. Roberts said that everyone in the organization believes this situation will be resolved quickly and that Ohtani's name will be completely cleared. He also mentioned that the team's legal and equipment staff are cooperating fully with MLB investigators to expedite the process. Roberts expressed hope that the league will provide daily updates on the investigation's progress so that speculation and rumors don't continue to grow unchecked. What happens next remains uncertain. Will the investigation reveal any issues with Ohtani's bat, or will it confirm what his supporters believe, that his incredible performance comes purely from generational talent? How will this controversy affect Ohtani's mindset as he continues his pursuit of baseball excellence? Will MLB face criticism for how they handled this situation, especially if no violations are found? The entire baseball world is watching and waiting for answers. Thank you for watching. Please share your thoughts in the comments section. Do you think this investigation is justified, or is it an overreaction? Subscribe to our channel for more interesting and up-to-date information as this story develops.